Good Monday morning. Greg here from Master Trader. Let's go through the chart, see where things are at here this morning and where we might be headed this week. So we got the futures here opened up, the S&P's here up 5, just trading within this little range. And they started to form it near the end of the week, right up into this resistance area. So far, it's acting quite bullishly, and the fact that futures did gap up, pushed up into this area and are going sideways versus pulling back after this red bar. Now, this is only pre-market. This could become a red bar or move lower here, obviously, as the day goes on. But if it was to hold on to the gain that it has right now, you can see where it came back on the 30-minute chart, and it's up into that resistance right over here. That's those dailies bars. That's going to tell us that buyers continue to step up and believe this market is going to go higher from here. The weekly chart supports that as it was pulling back into the rising 20. It did form a reversal when it tested this bottoming tail bar, and then we got the gap up last week. So let's see where this goes. For now, trading within this range, unless you're an intraday trader, just stand aside, let it chop around, let it do whatever it's going to do, and then we'll see what direction it may take. The NASDAQ obviously outperformed. It's up 1975 as I'm speaking. Might actually be above Friday's high there. Thereabouts. Hard, I can't see. So we'll see whether this holds on to the gain. Maybe it extends to go higher here, which would be a bit surprising since it gapped up and higher, stall, wide range bar, little doji bar, slowing momentum bar, and so could it go higher? We'll see shortly. If it turns into a topping tail bar, that will give me a greater confidence to short this. And so looking at the intraday here, here's the 60-minute chart. What I like to see is when prices are extended, I'm going to look at the Qs here because it's a more compelling pattern, because you don't see the 24-hour trading where you don't see the gaps here in the futures where you will see them in the Qs. But what happens on the intraday charts in an extended market or index, ETF, stock, it doesn't matter, is you do get this strong move up on the intraday charts, which creates what I coined a price void. So a price void is comprised of a momentum move, or could be gaps, and then time. So when you get a climactic type of sell setup where prices do become extended, it says we'll look at the daily chart and say we're looking for prices to come back, that one stall there is just going to be the straight up move and a little sideways action, which is still bullish intraday. And then we're looking for is prices, which happens over the course of 2 or 3 days, may form like a head and shoulders type of top where this bar here, then maybe you get another, and that action going sideways here creates that distribution pattern intraday. And then obviously you look to short, a breakdown and or a retracement after the breakdown, looking for lower targeted prices below. Okay. We had the Dow consolidating up at resistance here, similar to the S&P's weekly uptrend. It's quiet here, up 32, but really in the context of the daily here really doesn't mean much of anything because it hasn't broken above the higher low of the prior bar at a minimum. Bonds here, something you want to keep an eye on. They've been pretty good at having an inverse relationship with the markets. So they're down here a bit pre-market here, and that's helping support the equity markets. Now, what you want to keep an eye on here, we'll set alerts and I'll show you TLT, is if they can get above here, that's going to put pressure on the market. And if this continues to come down here and possibly break out, well, that you're going to see the market then push up above the recent high. So keep an eye on bonds. If you don't have bonds, you can watch. You don't have the futures, you can watch TLT. And it's pretty much the same pattern, except you get the gaps there. So you go back to the cues, and here you can see the gaps. And so, it's a substantial gap. That's a 1% gap. Then it gapped again. A little stall, gapped up on Friday. But a nice uptrend on the 60-minute chart. So, same thing in that, do we get some sideways price action? So just because we have this extended move away from the 20 and support here, shorting under here would be a viable entry point. You'd have to give it enough room because you could come back above this high through a wiggle. But what I'd rather do is wait to see maybe over another day or so if this intraday time frame can come in alignment with the bias of this being extended, and then getting a better entry point at that, on a breakdown. Now, that all being said, the weekly chart is still bullish. Rather than pulling back over here toward the 20 or this support area right here, it went sideways and broke out to a new high. So this view is a very short-term one, looking for a pullback that might occur over a day or two. Going into tomorrow, I don't see anything of significance that's earnings today, but what will be in focus will be Apple, which is going to be tomorrow. Is it going to break out above these highs? Is it going to be a double top and break down, which is obviously going to have an influence on the broader markets, especially the NASDAQ. And then on Wednesday, we have Facebook, which is already running up in anticipation of those earnings. So they better be good. If they're not, we can expect a downward move. And if they are good, you could probably get a gap up, which could be a fade because it's already run up into there. I mentioned Snap last week. I don't recall whether it was in this morning update or to subscribers. But I really like the pattern here as it's shaping up on this retest. And then we got that bottoming tail bar, which took out this low here. And then it took out that high. And what I said at the time was, the upside target isn't that great, which it's nearing right now. It's 3 days up. It's trading at around 2260-ish right now. So it's up a little bit. It's up a little bit more, from where it was on Friday. There's going to be some sellers up in this area here. So be aware of that. But this is shaping up, which could be a nice intermediate term setup for a move higher here, which, I'm out of it myself for now. And I'm looking forward to see how it reacts to this resistance area here. And if it acts well, then we'll get back in it. But, it's shaping up nicely. That's it for this morning, folks. We will update again tomorrow. Stop in at mastertrader.com. You can take a trial to our advisory service. And hope you enjoy these updates, and we'll talk soon.